What are some of the things you guys are looking to clean up that you saw from this last weekend headed into?
Just puck management and mental prep. I think our guys last weekend, unfortunately, were looking ahead to this weekend. It was a standard, trap weekend where, as much as you tell them to be focused on what's in front of them and control what you can control, it's tough to do, knowing you have, arguably the best team in the country coming in such a big series. So we got rid of it. We got through it. We escaped it with 2 wins, and we move forward.
Coach, a lot was made of this week of ASU football trying to emulate Utah. Are you guys trying to emulate a program like Denver?
I think to say we're trying to emulate Denver right now is premature. I mean, Denver's won 8 national championships. They're blue blood. We have a long way to go before we can emulate them. But certainly, 30 years from now, we hope to be at that point where we've won multiple national championships like them. But we've got a long way to go, and we're just focused on getting better every day.
Coach, how do you get ready for this Denver team? They're number 2 in the nation. They're solid. They've won national championships. How do you prepare for a team of that caliber? Well,
You don't really change too much. We worry about us. We have a lot to focus on ourselves. We know how Denver plays. We played them a lot. We played them almost more than anybody. We know how good they are offensively and how active they are in the O-zone. So there's some things we're working on to prepare for that. But really, we're just focusing on us. You have to take care of the puck against teams like this. If you take care of the puck like we did last weekend, we stand no chance.
Coach, Denver has a lot of defensemen that are really, active in that offensive zone, that have a lot of offensive upside. How do you kind of change your approach when you face teams that have so much offense coming from you?
We worked on it today. You have to be able to kill plays when you can kill plays, and it's no different. D zone, it doesn't change. We just have to kill plays and spend as little time in our defensive zone as possible. That's been the focus this season. We've done a pretty good job of that. Even last weekend, it wasn't like we gave up a lot of O-zone time to that other team. Everything they got was in transition. So defensively, especially in the D zone, we're happy with what our guys are doing, and we're spending more time in the offensive zone almost every game than the other team. That's a big reason why we're 6-1-1. So, yeah.
You guys have had a lot of different goal scorers this year. I think it's 14 now. What's the importance of the depth, and how do you see that playing a factor?
You want to have balance. You want to have depth, and when you have scoring coming from everywhere, it's good. Our top line last weekend did some really good things, but we didn't get any production out of them. We still came out of it with 2 wins, so that's a good sign that we have the depth to find a way to win games when our top guys aren't producing. But they were right there. They had tons of chances. It just didn't go their way.
Coach, Anthony Dowd is really breaking out as really a star on your team, offensively and defensively, on where his position. What have you seen from him as an overall player?
He's great. We knew how good he was. He was a huge commit when we got him to commit here and over the schools that we got him to commit over. And so we knew he would come in and make an impact right away. He's getting better every day. He had some things, some warts last weekend that showed as a freshman, but he pulled himself out of it. And he's a gamer. He knows how to win hockey games, and he did that for us on Friday.
So what can you take out of last year's series with the U? Have you looked back at it all?
We generally, they have a great program and a great coach, and they haven't really changed too much of what they do because they don't have to. They're always really good. So, no, we know in order to be able to compete with them this weekend, we're going to have to be our very best. And if we're not, we literally stand no chance to beat them.
Coach, how do you think about TJ's game? The game the weekend off. Now to imagine he's probably the presumptive starter going into this weekend. How you feeling?
Yeah, we've been able to manage him. Like I said, we were going to set out to do, and he's fresh, he's ready, he's fresh of mind, he's fresh of body, and I expect him to have a big weekend.
Denver's been really good on the penalty kill. How are you planning on attacking the power play?
Just staying out of the box and trying to win the special teams battle. We did it Saturday. That's what won us the game. We got a shorthanded goal. We got a power play goal. Nothing changes. We need to get pucks to the net and simplify things. That's what we did on Saturday night that scored that big goal to tie it. We just got a puck to the net, and Gratz had his stick, good stick in the blue paint, and we scored a nice goal.
Obviously, this is one of the few ranked matchups that you have on the schedule this year. Denver, Providence, Cornell later, depending on their season. Is it all hands on deck for you guys this weekend?
It's always all hands on deck. Doesn't matter who you play. The kids are going to be kids. Like I said, they're going to have it's unfortunate, and as we progress through the season, it's not going to be able to happen. But that's what happened. I mean, our guys took Stonehill lightly. They were looking ahead to Denver, and there's no way they're taking Denver lightly because they know how good Denver is. So, are we treating this like any other game? Probably not. But it's all hands on deck every week, every day.
Is there a way you can coach that out and kind of get them to not treat someone like Stonehill lightly when you're going to have Alaska team the following weekend, and then you're going to have Province coming in another round?
It's just you just revert back to experience, and that was the first time this season that it had happened, and that's why playing to an identity is so important. And we had that discussion Saturday morning. They hear about our identity and what that identity needs to be, and it's non-negotiable. It doesn't matter who you play or where you play. You have to play to your identity, because when you establish that on a consistent basis, it doesn't matter who the opponent is. You play to your identity no matter what. So it's early in the season where we had a team slip with that mindset on Friday night. Saturday we got back to it. We were good Saturday. We doubled zone time. We doubled shots. We just couldn't score. The goalie played really well. So it happened for a game, and again, the thing I like about our group is that it's clearly a resilient team. We've come back from multiple times being down and found ways to win.
Copperwood had the game tire on Friday and then the game winner on Saturday. How much trust do you have in him late in games to just make a play?
I mean, he's got ice in his veins. He wants to be out there in the big moments to win or tie games late, and that's why he's out there, and that's probably why he'll continue to be.
We're at the U.S. National Team Development Program. We played with a few of the Denver guys, and Barons and Ryan. So, can you give us a little bit of scouting report on those guys?
Yeah, I mean, both are really, really good players. Two of the best players on their team. Great guys. I was pretty close with them back in juniors, so it'll be fun to play against those guys for sure.
And just that Denver top line, you got two guys that are at about 2 points per game. I mean, what challenges are they going to bring for the nation's defense?
Yeah, I mean, I think our D-core is pretty confident. I think we've been playing really well. We know it's a big test, but I think we're really excited to get to it.
Coach kind of talked about how you guys took Stonehill lightly and kind of set you guys back a little bit. How are you kind of getting over that and now just focusing and locking in on Denver?
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of a wake-up call, just going into every game with that mindset of it's a Game 7 as an independent. So obviously I think the guys will be really prepared for Denver this weekend, and I have no doubt we'll be ready to go.
How do you think bringing in a guy like Brandon Tavican has been for the entire D-core?
Really good. I mean, he's an older guy. He's got experience. He's an unbelievable skater, can move the puck well. Just a great locker room guy, too. So it's been good to have him a part of the D-core, and yeah, he's been a good addition.
Have you guys been honing in on anything different in practice to get ready for Denver, changing what you had your scheme, maybe?
Yeah, I think we've just been really focusing on our D zone. Obviously, they're a really talented offensive team, so just honing in on shutting them down early, getting the puck out of our end quickly, and things will work itself out from there.
Sorry, how do you think you've grown as a player over the past few years in Arizona?
I think here I've really developed my defensive game and kind of established myself as a really stable two-way defenseman that they can rely on in big defensive zone moments. I think especially adding Albie O'Connell this year as a D coach has been really good for me. He's got a lot of good experience and good things to teach me. So yeah, no, I think over the last 3 years I've developed pretty nicely.
Anthony Dowd has really blossomed into basically a star since he's been here. I mean, what can you say about his game? It's still early on the season. He's really shown us a lot.
Yeah, I mean, he's a phenomenal player. I mean, he's only gotten better every game. Obviously, he's like another little Timmy Level, another guy that can that can move well. So, I mean, yeah, he's had an unreal start, and I really think he's only going to get better. And yeah, I mean, unreal kid. He's been fitting in really well, and we've been trying to give him as much wisdom that we have to give to him. But yeah, no, he's already really mature, and he's been doing really well.
Coach said you guys are 9 deep at defense. How does that kind of translate into the competitiveness in practice that anyone can sit, anyone can play on any given game?
I think it's great. I mean, I love it. It has that in-team competition, which you need. You need guys battling for spots every weekend. It only makes everyone else better.
What kind of captain has Grattan been for this team, honestly?
I mean, he's been unreal. Obviously, you got to be a pretty great guy to come in as a transfer and get that captaincy right away. I I mean, he's a veteran. He's a grizzled-looking guy. You know, he's got that toughness. He plays hard, and he speaks well to the team, which is really important.
First game this weekend, what was that experience like?
No, it's awesome. I mean, it's always good to get your first one in a new program, so I was really happy to get out there and, just help in any way I could. So it was awesome. It was good to get the first one under the belt.
We saw you sticking up for your teammates a couple of times on Saturday. It's kind of sent you to the box. What's the brotherhood like between this team?
I think we're very tight knit. I think everyone will take a bullet for the other one, and I think that's kind of a culture that has been established early on. We got to be together if we're going to go far. That's only good teams are going to be close together. So I think that's kind of just the standard in our room at this point.
Cade, how was it for you coming to a new program and not getting to start and play right away and having to sit out a few of those games, work on your game, and then finally get it?
I mean, everybody has to find their own path, right? So I'm just happy to get my feet under me, and like I said earlier, when I'm out there, I'll do everything I can to help us win. So.
I know growing up you played every sport under the sun. So how do you think that helped you just with your hockey skills today?
I think just being an athlete in general helps you. I played a lot of tennis growing up, so I think that helps with your footwork and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just I feel like everything translates. That's actually in our room. So.
Guys, the last couple of weeks, we talked about how hard they were pushed by you, the coaches in training camp. What was that experience like for you?
It was good. We got here August 6th, which was a little earlier than I'm used to coming in, and right from the jump, it was we're getting to work. We're trying to do something big this year. Win a championship. So we've been kind of dialed in on the details early on. So it's been awesome.
What's the feeling in the locker room knowing you have the number 2 team coming in this week and a huge part of the independent schedule coming in for the Bear-wise? How has it been just mentally for everybody?
I think it's a lot of excitement in the room. I think up to this point, we've proven we can play with almost anyone, and now we got the number 2 team in the country coming, so we want to kind of make a statement that ASU's here, and we're a force to kind of be reckoned with. So that's kind of our mindset going in.
Denver is just a very good offensive team. Their defensemen can really get involved in the play, and obviously they have 2 guys on the top line that have over 2 points per game. As a defense as a whole, what's your approach going against such a high-scoring team?
Yeah, I mean, we've been focusing a lot on our D zone this week so far in practice. I mean, it's only Tuesday, but we're only going to continue working on it. I think we know that we have everything in our room. We have everything it takes. We just need to focus on ourselves and, approach the game like any other and just kind of work hard. Yeah.
Being a transfer coming in, there were some guys who have been here before that have really kind of put you under their wing and kind of taught you the ropes.
Yeah, my roommate's TJ, Semptimphelter. He was also a transfer from Boston as well, so he's kind of he can relate to me in a lot of different ways, so he's been a great guy for me.
Feeling pretty well rested after 3 games off?
Yeah, obviously I want to be in the net every game, but I was really happy for Gibby, obviously, to experience the environment here at Mullet. Before the game I talked to him. I remember my first game at Northeastern as well as my first game here, playing at home in Mullet last year against Colgate. The crowd was unbelievable, and I was really happy that we pulled through for him and for our team to get those 2 wins.
TJ, Denver, Denver probably better than anybody last year. You kind of stood on your head. How have you mentally prepared for facing Denver again this year?
Yeah, this is a game that's been circled on my calendar ever since last year, right? Obviously losing, the way we did with a couple minutes left, just, a controversial call, but they're a great team, right? They're obviously very talented. They're well coached. They have a lot of really good players. So these are the games that you get up for as a player. I mean, every game obviously is really important as an independent, but, especially whenever you see a ranked opponent coming into your barn, you want to make sure you handle business and kind of show them what goes down here at Mullet. So I'm really excited for this weekend, and I know the guys are as well.
Speaking of protecting home ice, how awesome has it been that you guys have been able to do that so far in front of your fans?
Yeah, it's obviously, I guess that's kind of our way of giving back to the fans and everybody that's enabled us to have the experience that we do and being able to play at Mullet, right? It's a huge home ice advantage. Whenever you get to just sleep in your own bed, come in here, have your fans supporting you, not only is it an advantage for us, but it's certainly a disadvantage for the other team. They come in, they're getting heckled. I mean, I've talked to friends and guys on the other teams that we play against, and they're like, man, this is crazy, and they're not really expecting kind of what they come into here in Arizona. Obviously, hockey's really growing here, and I'm excited for this weekend.
TJ, how is it? How have you tried to stay focused and locked in when you had this time off that you didn't have last year?
Yeah, obviously, like I said, I want to play every game, right? The coaches know that. My teammates know that. But obviously, Powers has done a phenomenal job with goalies in the past, right? I mean, we have Joey DeCord about a step on the ice behind me who's playing for the Kraken. So I have a lot of respect and trust in Coach Powers and obviously the rest of the coaching staff. And, they're looking out for the team's best interest, and I know what they're doing is for my best interest as well. So obviously rest is good, and I'm really excited to take Denver on and obviously come home with 2 wins after this weekend.
What would you say your relationship is with Gibson and how you split net?
Yeah, I'd say our relationship is really good. Like I said before that first game, even against Miami, right, I told him, I was like, listen, like, you'll never forget your first game. It's like anything. That game's just really special. It's like an opportunity where you kind of know, like, hey, I made it to this next level, let me keep going. And so I was really happy for him. Obviously, that game in Miami ended in a shootout win. Had a really good game, battled through some adversity, and I think our relationship is really good, right? I mean, goalies is tough because there's only one net. So as much as you want to be competitive, I also kind of want to be a mentor for him. He's a younger guy. Last year he redshirted, worked his ass off to be in the position that he is now. So I was happy for him, like I said, to get 2 wins and kind of help our team continue the momentum that we've started so far this year.
That kind of leads me into another question. Have you kind of mentored him in a way, taking on your wing a little bit?
Yeah, I think I was really fortunate when I was at Northeastern to learn from a guy like Devin Levi, who was just ahead of me. And I think from that experience, like a big thing that I kind of learned is just the goalie camp or the goalie army or whatever you want to call it. It's a small one, and kind of like I'm happy that Powers is a goalie himself, but really only goalies kind of know what you go through game in and game out, and kind of just the different pressures, the different swings, right? It's one day you're a superhero, and the next day it's like, hey, why didn't you win the game for us here or there? So, I've been happy to lean on him, bounce ideas off, and like I said, I was fortunate to have that relationship with Dev. So if there's one thing that I can pass on, it's kind of be a mentor for Gibby and help him in his growth as a person and as a player.
I know coming into this season, Coach Powers said he really wanted more of a gritty and kind of heavy team. How have you seen that kind of transform over the past few weeks?
Yeah, I think, you just look up and down our lineup, right? A lot of the additions that we made, transfer portal, freshmen, all of these guys, you can tell that they really care about winning. And it's not necessarily that our guys last year didn't have that, urge to win. It's just, these guys like Grattan and a bunch of other guys that we've gotten to the Chambers, like even younger, like all these guys have experience making it far, playing long seasons, going into the tournament. And at the end of the day, that's what it takes, right? And they understand what it takes to win, and we couldn't be happier to have them on our side wearing the pitchfork. So.
You guys got a chance to catch up with Joey?
Yeah, so Joey actually spoke with us a bit kind of just before the week started, and Joey's a guy that I lean on a lot as well. To be in conversation with him and talk about his experience here, the ups and downs that he's experienced, it's been extremely helpful for me in my growth here as well as my development. So I'm really fortunate to have him as somebody that I can reach out to. I thank him a lot for taking the time to still be interested in everything going on at Arizona State. And he was a huge part of this program and having this rink being built and the success that we're able to have now. So, to see the success that he's had, especially as great of a guy he is, it's really heartwarming, and it's something that I hope to do as well myself.
DJ, as a goalie, looking at your deep core in front of you, you have 3 new names this year with Dowd and Tabakin and Niedermeyer coming in, the freshman.
Yeah.
How has it been having that deep core in front of you played much tighter than last year?
Yeah, I think every year, one thing that's crazy about no matter where you play is you're never really going to have the same exact group of guys. Growing up, I remember on like my mite teams and whatever, you have the same exact D or forwards or everything in front of you. And I think the biggest thing for me was I was just really impressed how quickly all those guys have gelled, right? I mean, you look at Anthony Dowd, Josh Niedermeyer, both of those guys are freshmen, young defensemen, and they've been able to really acclimate themselves and get comfortable in college hockey very quickly, which is, it speaks a lot to kind of who they are as people and who they are as players. So we're really fortunate to have those guys, and those are guys that are just going to continue to get better and better as the season goes on and as they get older in college. So I'm excited to see kind of what they're able to accomplish this year and moving forward, but we're really happy to have them this year, and they're a huge part of what's enabling us to win and have success.
I have a different question for you. You just referenced Mike, so I'm really curious. When you were all the way down so young, were you playing both against you, or did you, skate for a little bit inside, when you maybe get into the answer, and probably a little bit before that you wanted to go?
Yeah, I really like answering this question. So when I was like 3 or 4 years old, I started doing skating lessons, maybe like 3, I think, or young 3. And all the other kids would be, doing circles around the dot or whatever the drill was. And I would just go and sit in the crease. And our instructor would be like, TJ, like, what are you doing? And I'd be like tugging on his pants, like, when do I get to put the goalie pads on? Like, I just want to wear the goalie gear. And I think that's kind of where my love for the position started. Like, I was just always enamored by the gear, like the pads, the helmet, the stick. Like, as a little kid, I was always just walking around my house with like a helmet on or like holding a goalie stick. Like, even playing mini hockey, I always wanted to get in net, which is like, whoever wants to do that, So yeah, I guess I lost my mind a while ago, but yeah, it's I've always just loved the position, and I'm happy that I've been able to have the experiences that it's kind of led me to, right? Going to boarding school and then even kind of my my very unique path to the juniors and Northeastern, and then here at Arizona State. So yeah.